Hey, Camilla. Your little brother is here, anxiously waiting for you. Where on earth are you? You should have been back several hours ago. What is causing you such a delay to get home, for heaven's sake? I know you have a lot of time on your hands, but this is becoming ridiculous. Aren't you supposed to be preparing our dinner? I thought we had agreed that you would have something tasty and healthy ready by the time we got home. And what about the laundry and cleaning? You haven't done anything at all. You can't even comprehend English, for God's sakes. What I'm trying to communicate to you is to get off your idle ass and do some work around here. Understood? Am I making myself clear to you? Camilla, I realize that you're a high school dropout, but come on. If you can't understand it, how do you plan to survive in this harsh world?
Edwin, I thought I made it very clear to you this morning. I told you that I was leaving for a business trip today, and that I would be gone for a while.
Excuse me? When did this happen? How come you never informed me about this before?
How can you say that? I saw you this morning, Edwin. Don't pretend like you don't know. You were watching me put my suitcases in the car. You even assisted me with one of them. And obviously, I wouldn't be packing up the car with my suitcase on a normal day. A suitcase is for traveling, you know. Or are you too thick to figure that out?
Oh yeah, an overseas business trip, huh? Really? You know what, Camilla? I think this business trip is one big BS fabrication that you devised. You're probably lying to me, aren't you?
Are you kidding? Do you really believe that? Do you think I'm that dumb?
Yeah, I do. I mean, how could a high school dropout like you go on a business trip? I mean, what foolish company would send you? I bet you don't even speak the language of wherever you claim you're going. So if it's not a business trip, this must be a tour or something. Did you stop by the travel agent downtown and book an all-inclusive package tour? You know, with a guide and all. You don't even earn that much. How could you afford such a tour? Ha ha ha! You're so pathetic.
Always harping on about my academic background. How about you, Edwin? You haven't had much social interaction since joining that company. You're always locked up in your room working on your laptop. You don't have any friends, do you?
Social interaction? Who needs that? I have my work, and that's all that matters.
Anyway, I'm leaving for this business trip, and I'm not sure when I'm returning. Can't you guys do the cooking and cleaning yourselves? Why do I always have to be there to do everything? I'm your sister, not your maid. I have my own life, you know.
You really have the nerve to say that, Camilla. You're so ungrateful. You don't appreciate all that I do for you. I pay the bills. I buy the groceries. I take care of our little brother. And you? You just slack off and do whatever you want.
I've still got some work to wrap up here at the office before I head out to the airport. So let's end this conversation, shall we? I don't have time to listen to your nonsense.
Yeah, right. I bet you're headed to some low-level resort or something, and saving your pennies by drinking tap water and buying local stuff from the grocery store. Sounds about right? I really can't believe you would take off on some overseas vacation and just skip out on your household duties. You really think an insignificant high school dropout of a sister like you can disobey a college grad like myself? You have another thing coming, Camilla. Severe consequences await you once you get back. Just remember that. I won't let you get away with this. You'll regret this, Camilla. You'll regret this.
You there, Camilla, are a good-for-nothing, lazy sister. This is Jessie, Edwin's significant other. I heard you were on some overseas holiday. Seriously? How could you do such a thing? How could you abandon your family and your responsibilities? How could you be so selfish and irresponsible?
Why can't you people get it through your thick skulls? I'm going on a business trip, not an overseas holiday. What's wrong with you people? Every time I say something, you people twist it all out of shape like a pretzel. You don't listen to me.
I'm surprised you don't know. Everybody else does, you know. It's because you're a dropout. That's why we're not twisting anything. You're the one that's feeding us bogus, made-up information. A business trip? Come on. You can do better than that. For your information, we have both acquired a special skill that allows us to decipher the information you feed us and glean the truth from it. Don't you even see that? That's why your little brother makes fun of you all the time. Why do you think he asked if you spoke English or not? He never seems to get through to you. You really have the audacity to take a vacation overseas, being a high school dropout and a low-level office clerk. You're so delusional.
Are you finished talking trash about me? Are you satisfied with making me feel worthless and miserable?
Pardon me? I'm just telling you the truth. The truth that you need to face.
I hate repeating myself over and over again with you guys. I'll say it one more time. I'm going on a legit business trip. This is not a personal holiday vacation that you keep saying it is. I just wish you people would stop creating this false interpretation of everything I say. Stop judging me and doubting me.
And like your brother endlessly keeps telling you, Camilla, the company you work for would never send some high school dropout on an overseas business trip. All they would end up doing is embarrassing themselves and bringing shame to the company. So you should really quit your flights of fancy. You should really wake up from your fantasy. And I think you need to come back to reality.
There's no use trying to talk to you. You're so stubborn and narrow-minded. I have to go. I'm gonna miss my flight.
Hold on just a second, Camilla. A low education, good-for-nothing like you has no right to disobey a highly educated individual like myself. You really have the nerve, Camilla. This calls for severe punishment. You can bet on it. You're so doomed and so screwed.
Hey, Camilla. You're so stubborn, aren't you? Why the hell do you have a lock on your bedroom door? What the hell are you hiding in there? This is our house, damn it. You can't just lock the doors like you own the place.
What is it this time? Will you ever leave me alone? Edwin, this is beyond absurd. It's my room, for God's sake. I can lock it whenever I want. Besides, I know you and Jesse would go snooping around in there like a pack of hungry hyenas.
Hyenas? Do you think we're a bunch of low-life scavengers?
Yeah, I do actually. And speaking of lowlifes, are you and Jesse ready to move out?
Move out? What the hell are you talking about?
Oh my God, don't tell me you have amnesia. You two moved into my place temporarily. And I stress temporarily because you had to get out of that crappy apartment before it was torn down. I was generous enough to let you stay at my place until you found another place to live. You must remember that, right? The deadline is coming up fast. So I would appreciate it if you showed some urgency on your part.
Oh yeah, that's right. Moving out, right? But what's this about your place?
What do you mean by that? That is my place. I bought it with my own money.
Nothing. Just saying.
Anyway, a promise is a promise. You said you were looking for a new place. Did you find one yet? Have you guys even bothered to look?
Hey, Camilla. Jesse here. Edwin told me that you were blabbering about some nonsense about us finding a new apartment. What's this crap about your place? Are you talking about this house?
Hello, Jesse. What do you want from me now?
Like I said, this house. I know it's your parents' place, and this is where you spent your childhood and all, but...
But what? What are you trying to say? Come on, spit it out, why don't you? What's so wrong about calling my own home? My place, for Pete's sake?
Nothing wrong with that. Just saying. I really shouldn't waste my precious time explaining all that to someone who doesn't have the brains to process such complex information anyway.
Oh, is that so? To be honest, I'd rather not listen to your boring explanation anyway. Apparently you already talked to Edwin. So what's it gonna be?
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
When are you moving out? That's what I'm talking about. The date you guys promised you would be moving out is fast approaching. Have you guys found a place yet?
Yeah, right. Edwin did mention something about that, but for your information, Edwin and I have no intention of moving out of this house.
Wait a second, Jesse. What did you just say?
This house? We're not moving. One more time. Not moving. Got it? I mean, think about it. Edwin is the man of the family. He has the rights to the house. It will be handed down to him, right? And you have no say in it.
What I'm trying to say is that it's you who has to move out. I'm going to have to stop you right there, Jesse. What the hell are you talking about?
Figure you'd find out it sooner or later. But just so you know, we threw out all your belongings, so no need to come back from the overseas vacation. Just stay there.
Threw out my stuff? Are you out of your mind?
I know you had a lock on that door to keep us hyenas out, but Edwin broke in, and we got in. No problem. You broke down the door. Now why'd you go and do that? What did you expect? How else were we supposed to get in? We had to clean out that room. We called Goodwill, and they came over and took everything. Loaded the dresser, the desk, the chair, the whole shebang. Nice and clean. No hassles. That room looks a lot bigger after that. A little too big for the likes of you, in my opinion.
You have to be kidding, you guys. You were unbelievable. Clean out my room and I don't have to come home. Is that it?
That's exactly it. I was expecting some sort of asinine comeback. Have a nice life over there. From today on, this is Edwin and I's little paradise.
That's just great, thank you. Now I don't have to come back stateside anymore.
Huh? Are you serious? Are you really not coming back?
No, maybe that's too much. I have a bunch of stuff to take care of stateside, so that's actually not an option. I already moved the important stuff out, and I was wondering what I was going to do with the furniture and old clothes. You guys saved me the hassle.
Wait a second. What the hell are you babbling on about?
I'm saying, thanks for cleaning out my room. You guys saved me the hassle.
I still have no idea what you're talking about. Are you saying that you are going to get rid of all of that stuff anyway?
Yeah, that's right. You cleaned it out for me. Anyways, I'm moving out of that house.
Oh, okay. I get it. Well, why didn't you tell us that? To begin with, we could have saved a perfectly good door. Now it has to be repaired.
Send me your bank account number and a photo of the receipt. I'll deposit the money there. Sound good?
Right you are. I'll send that later today.
Oh yeah? You and Edwin better start getting ready to move. Have you got your stuff all packed?
Why should we move out?
What are you talking about? You only have about a week left. You better hurry.
Pardon me? You're not making any sense. Why do we have to move out?
I don't get you guys. I thought I told you when you first moved in. I explained the whole situation to you. I can't believe it. You forgot, didn't you? I told you guys that I put the house on the market and that it has already been sold, and that we all had to move out within 2 months. That 2 months ends next week.
Are you kidding me, Camilla? You sold the house? Hey, explain it right now.
Camilla, you cunning and deceitful little creature. How could you possibly sell this house without telling us anything? Please say that you fabricated the whole story just to annoy Jesse. What are you thinking inside that minuscule head of yours?
I had a feeling that you would not remember. You have always been like that, Edwin. You never paid any attention to other people. You were always absorbed in your own self and your own interests.
You are very audacious to talk to me in such a manner, Camilla.
I think you should stop talking right now, Edwin. That house that you are currently residing in, the house that we spent our childhood in. Mom and Dad gave me the legal ownership of the house when they relocated to the East Coast because of Dad's business opportunities.
Are you kidding me? That does not make any logical sense. What about me? I'm also a member of this family, am I not?
Mom and Dad were well aware of what kind of people you and Jesse were. You were not very competent when it came to managing your finances, to say the least. You know, Dad believed that it was better that I take care of the house. And regarding that apartment that you moved out of, I was fully aware that it was not going to be demolished. You guys were kicked out because you could not pay the rent on time, were you not? You thought that I was ignorant of that fact?
You knew about that? Why did you act like you didn't know?
Furthermore, I also informed you about this, but it seems that you forgot about it. Dad accepted the position of the managing director of the East Coast branch and decided to move there. He also intends to retire there eventually. That is why he purchased that beautiful cabin by the lake. They plan to live there peacefully after retiring.
What? This is the first time I have heard of this. Why did you not tell me?
I did tell you several times, but you just ignored me. Oh, and about this business trip. Actually, I am going to be permanently stationed over here in the UK.
How are you serious? Someone who dropped out of high school like you?
Yeah, that is true. I have been working at this company ever since I left school, but the reason I dropped out was because I had to look after Dad. He was very sick back then and had to quit his job as a result. We were struggling financially. I had no other option but to work. I did not drop out because of my poor grades. I was actually the best student in my class.
I never knew about any of this.
Also, I obtained my high school diploma a few years later when our situation improved a little. Also, I enrolled in some business courses at night school. I think I acquired every possible business and marketing skill that I needed to do my job. And do you know who paid for your education? You keep insulting me for being a high school dropout. But just so you are aware, I worked very hard to become the section chief.
A section chief? Are you serious?
This current business trip that I am on, I have been traveling back and forth for the past several months to prepare for my relocation here.
How can someone who dropped out of high school become a section chief? Is that even feasible?
Come on, Edwin, not this again.
But how can someone with such a mediocre education get promoted? There is something very wrong here.
Have you not realized by now that not everything depends on academic achievement? It must have been a shocking revelation for you, I would imagine.
What do you mean by that?
I heard from someone who works at the same office as you. Even though you and Jesse both work at a prestigious corporation, I hear that you guys only have minor roles. You have both been sidelined.
That's not true. We do significant work.
Yeah, sure. I think we kind of got distracted. Well, that is the story, Edwin. It just does not seem practical to keep that house any longer with me being abroad, and the folks out east buying that lake house right when we had finished all the paperwork for the new owners. You guys showed up.
But you never...
I made you guys sit down and listen to me as I explained the whole situation to you in detail, and you guys seemed very excited and supportive at the time. You agreed to my conditions, but I suppose you weren't really paying attention. You had already made up your mind to kick me out and take over the house, right?
I was only trying to. Well, anyway, you should have.
I should have what? Repeated it to you every time I saw you. You gave me your consent. I assumed that you were fully aware that you had to vacate the place by the end of the month.
It's just not fair. How could you do this to me?
Oh my God, Edwin. Please don't tell me that you still haven't found a place to stay yet.
What do you expect? I had no clue about it. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. I never imagined in my wildest dreams that we would have to move out too. How was I supposed to know that you sold the place?
That's why I keep urging you to listen and not just dismiss people.
Yeah, that's really helpful telling me that now.
Anyway, just find someplace as soon as possible. The place is no longer ours after the 31st of this month. I'm not joking, Edwin. Tell your company that it's a dire situation or something, and that you guys need to stay in the company's accommodation or something.
That's not a possibility. Last time I did that, I sort of messed up.
Good grief, you have got to be kidding me.
Please, Camilla, you have to help me out. You're my sister, for heaven's sake.
Why should I help you?
You're my big sister. You have a responsibility to help me.
Big sister, huh? The useless high school dropout sister?
I didn't mean it. Come on, Camilla, give me a hand, would you?
There's a real estate office in the city center. Go check with them. I'm sure you'll find something. Or are you guys so stupid that you can't even go out and find an apartment?
What did you just say?
Seems like you've got enough energy and passion to do that at least. Why don't you guys finally act like a married couple and help each other out?
There's only one problem. I don't have any money.
Don't come begging to me, Edwin.
Don't say that. Camilla, please.
Work it out, Edwin. Goodbye.
Camilla, please, I'll do anything. Just help me out.
Yeah, it turns out that they were completely penniless. So what did they do, you ask? Well, astonishingly, they both chose to resign from their stable and secure jobs and got a live-in position at some small and obscure clothing manufacturer. I really have a hard time comprehending those two. They had decent jobs at reputable and prestigious corporations. I can't understand why they failed to make it work. What a total squandering of opportunity. My folks were not willing to help those two out either, knowing how pampered and arrogant they were. As a matter of fact, they said that it would be a good learning experience for them. I have to say, I concur with them. I also decided to take the same position. I mean, they're not children. They can look after themselves. But knowing the personality of those two, I had my reservations about that live-in job that they somehow managed to secure. I later learned from a friend that they encountered some problems with the staff just a few weeks after they arrived there. But you know what? I was not very surprised. They are apparently staying out of trouble now, trying not to annoy anyone, or they will be homeless again looking for another job. Maybe it'll be a reality check for them. They need a little common sense instilled in them. That's evident.